Welcome back to the Eel Tank, or welcome to the Eel Tank. If this is your first time joining us, Mark Janes and Lance Shive set to bring you the second half of a doubleheader. Traveling trophy one already claimed by Kevin Rounds and the Bulldogs of Monrovia. The final 46-32. They get their first win of the season, improved to 1-4, while the Eminence Eels fall to 2-4. The attention shifts to the season opener for the Eminence Eels and Monrovia Bulldogs and their coaches, both in their first year. Kevin Bradshaw, with plenty of connections to the program in Monrovia. He is countered by Nick Hinojosa, who's been an assistant for a few years at nearby Cascade High School and getting his first shot at a head coaching job at Monrovia. As I said, happy to be joined by Lance Shive, and first game jitters, always a concern. We'll see how this thing unfolds.
Anxious to watch how both these teams start finding themselves. That's probably the one thing as a coach. You see a lot of things in practice. How is that going to transfer to a game? What kids can handle the game-like atmosphere, especially in a place like the Eel Tank here. First game, and I'm anxious to see how both teams execute.
Kevin Bradshaw, as we mentioned, has some ties to the Monrovia program. He was an assistant under Kyle Swafford and also was an assistant football coach there. And knows some of these kids really, really well. Was familiar with them from his time spent in the program. Been away from it for a couple of years now. But, he said obviously this bowl game means a lot to him from that perspective. But I think more than anything else, he being a lifelong Morgan County resident, a graduate of Mooresville High School, so now he's coached at Eminence, he's coached at Monrovia. He understands the importance of this powder keg. He said, if you don't believe me, he said, just a few days ago I was in a restaurant in Monrovia. He said Bill Gore and his wife came in, and that's all they wanted to talk about with this game. Bill Gore coached here back in the 60s, had some great teams. Bill Gore was an Eminence grad, his wife a Monrovia grad. So they sit sometimes on opposite sides depending on how the seasons are going, but that gives you an idea of the significance of this powder keg basketball game.
What a great game to start the season off with. We talked about this in the first game. This is a game that college kids come back.
Right.
Families are coming back for Thanksgiving. And it's just what you do the night before Thanksgiving if you were at a Monrovia grad or alumnus, or if you went to Eminence. And so I just love games like this. It's a rivalry game, not a lot of love lost here. Should be a very enjoyable game to see.
Kevin Bradshaw said, simply put, we're not very experienced as a basketball team. I returned one varsity player, another kid that played a few minutes, but other than that, it's basically a whole new basketball team here at Eminence High School.
Well, with that said, you've got to try to put your kids in the right spot in games. Both these programs, even if you played last year, this is still new. And this is because you're in a different role. Unless all five are back, which nobody has that back, you're still new. You're in a different role, more leadership, less shooting, more defense, less defense. And so this first game is really a find-out game, really the first part of the season, especially in November and early December.
Well, and not only, as you suggest, not only are coaches finding about players, but players that are returning to these programs, regardless of their role last year, they're finding out about coaches, and the same could be said for Monrovia. I mean, Kyle Swafford, a mainstay in the basketball program. We talked about him in the girls' game. He won 2 sectionals as a girls' coach, won a sectional as a boys' coach. He'd been around this program for a long, long time, and boy, all of a sudden, these guys are playing for a new basketball coach when all of these years they thought that Kyle Swafford would be the guy.
Well, it does. It changes your perspective and mindset because there are certain things that Kyle preached that Nick may, and vice versa. And so now you see a little bit of that now because you got a feel for it if you're in Monrovia, because you've been around the new system since the summer and into the fall. But now let's see how it transfers again. That transfer thing I love to be able to see early in the season. What transfers over from the practice, what has to be refocused or refined in practice to allow it to transfer over to the game.
Well, Evan Keaton is the only returning starter. He is a 6'3" junior for the Eminence Eels, so clearly he is a guy that I think Kevin Bradshaw is going to rely heavily upon. For the Bulldogs, I think a couple of guys are really important for them tonight, most notably Todd Kamick. I mean, Todd suffered as a junior, Coach, a potentially career-ending injury in football as a junior. He did not get on the basketball floor until senior night last year, and Kyle Swafford put him on the floor for the last 30 seconds of the game just to say that he had a chance to play, his junior year. He got a little banged up the second half of football season, and quite frankly, Nick Hinojosa has not pushed him at all. He did not play in the scrimmage against Brown County because he needed him tonight. And I think between him and 6'7" Austin Leeds, who has a decided height advantage over everyone else that on the Eminence side, I think those are the two players that will be the keys to them tonight.
Well, I'm anxious to see how Nick Hinojosa kind of does his game plan and what he really focuses on and how he uses what he has, because he does have a huge height advantage. And how does he take advantage of that against a much smaller Eminence team? And so just the cat and mouse and just the coaching early on, I'm anxious to be able to see.
Starting lineups in first quarter action when we come back. It's the battle for the powder keg from the Eel Tank here on the IHSAA Sports Network.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on IHSAA Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now, because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not going
before.
to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, IHSASportsNetwork.com, IHSAA Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the IHSAA Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the IHSAA Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at IHSASportsNetwork.com.
Welcome back. Monrovia Bulldogs, Eminence Eels season opener. Boy, those two guys have been plying their trade for many a years. My very first job in broadcasting at WCBK in Martinsville, Indiana. Dave Reinhardt and his brother Randall. Been promoting Morgan County athletes for literally decades. I did 2.5 to 3 minute sports reports on Monrovia athletics. Had to call them in every Friday night by 11 o'clock. This is before cell phones now. And I got paid a whopping $5 a game. And I didn't get paid until the season was over. My deadline was 11 p.m. And if I missed my deadline, any money that I had made was wiped out. And I had to start all over. Like if I got to game 4 and didn't call in time.
Teaches about responsibility, and it's obviously it's paid off because of what you've done since, and it's pretty neat that they were teaching some great life lessons early on to you.
For sure. Dave Keister passed away a couple of years ago. We put that station on the air many, many years ago. Thank you, Mr. K, each and every day with everything I do, for sure. So Anthem taken care of prior to the girls' game, so we'll do for you what they'll do for the folks here and introduce you to the starting lineups for both of these basketball teams. As we mentioned, it's the season opener for both. For Eminence Eels, we talked about Evan Keaton, who is their lone returning starter. He's joined by Holly, Ray, Taylor, and Smith for the Bulldogs. Todd Kamick. Tucker Rand, we'll talk plenty about him and his family lineage in the Monrovia athletic program. Mason McClung. Gavin Followell, a guy with a lot of experience that returned from a year ago. Austin Leeds is the guy. He's at 6'7". He's their inside player. He's got a brother, Hunter, who suffered an injury very similar to Todd's, not quite as severe. and they hope to get Hunter back by just before tournament time. That may not happen, but if it does, they're both the same height and would really present some imposing figures for teams to have to guard against. And, over the past several years, Monrovia has had the benefit of some size. Josh Smith, who's now, got an outstanding career underway at Stetson University. Max Newman, who's rejuvenated his collegiate career here in the state of Indiana, was a 6'8 player and a 4-year starter for Kyle Swafford. There's a look at John Staniford, your halftime guest. In the girls' game, not a nicer guy, I'm telling you.
Soft-spoken, just has a great presence about himself, happy to be home and coaching basketball now. Again, a great dual sport athlete, and just amazing that he was both an Indiana All-Star football and basketball, and that's a big deal.
Todd Kamick, heady player. I think he's the kind of kid that could easily be a coach someday. I think he's got that kind of mindset about him. He's very humble. He's a we before me kind of guy. There's no doubt about it. So as the lights go out and they introduce the starting lineup for the Eminence Eels, we'll let Coach Scheib give us his keys for both ball clubs to tonight's matchup.
I think more than anything else, early on in the season, defense is going to be king. And I think that's, can you play both ends of the floor where you're able to transition from your defense to your offense, but it starts there. Creating offensive tempo is going to be huge. Both teams, again, first game of the season, who will be able to play at their tempo? And then, more than anything else, who's going to be ready to compete? You've done it in practice. You've done it all summer. You've done it in the fall. Now it counts. Both programs are excited. We got a packed house here, and that ability to compete is going to be paramount.
Nick Hinojosa in their scrimmage against Brown County last week said the biggest thing that he was concerned about was their inability to close out defensively. And that is what the focus was on practice over the past couple of days, to close out defensively. And he also, while certainly he wants to maintain pace, he wants to maintain some level of control with that pace because he doesn't want to create unforced errors. So take your time and hurry up, if you will. That sort of mindset.
Well, you got the John Wooden is play fast, but don't be in a hurry.
Right.
And unless you've been an athlete, that doesn't really make sense for you. It just means be under control. Do things, know where you're going, and have a plan before, during, and after.
Nick Hinojosa said Austin Leeds, who's getting ready to jump center, I think benefited. Did not play football last year. Andy Olson able to talk him into playing this year, played a vital role on the revival of that football program, if you will, and he thinks the physicality of the game of football made a difference and will benefit Austin. Tap goes to Todd Kamick, and he throws it up just a little short. We'll go back the other way.
Great play off the tip by the Bulldogs, not able to execute and finish there, but a good start.
Dylan Smith runs the point. Aiden Ray is out there with him. Todd Kamick taps it away, saves it back in bounds, and Eminence will redirect.
Todd Kamick, very, very athletic, anticipates very, very well, anxious to see how the rest of the Bulldogs and the Eels, how that transfers over. Can you play with anticipation?
His backcourt mate, Tucker Rand. Todd Kamick with the steal. Smart move. Slows up, lets the traffic clear. He and Tucker plays pitch and catch. Todd Kamick for three.
Big start for the Bulldogs. Great job of being unselfish by Kamick. Got the ball back from Rand and is able to knock it down.
He did not play in the scrimmage. Because of that nagging, lingering ankle sprain from football, Nick Hinojosa said, I know he'll be ready, and there's just no reason to risk aggravating that injury when we can give him an extra 4 or 5 days.
This is the game that counts. The scrimmage is big. It is important. You find out a lot about your kids, but you didn't need to find out a lot about Todd. Knew what he had from the senior, and wanted to make sure that he was healthy.
A hand check foul called against the Bulldogs. Put that one on Austin Leeds, yeah.
Yeah, the hardest thing early on is you don't have officials in practice, and you tend to be real handsy. You've got to play defense with your feet.
Leeds alters the shot down low by Aiden Ray, but the rebound's put up and in for the Eminence Eels. Aiden Ray stuck with it, got his first 2. Kamek quickly back the other way. I think Nick Hinojosa would say he's dribbling a bit too much. Skips it along the baseline. McClung's going to put up the 3. That's deep in the well dough, and the rebound controlled by Evan Keaton.
Great job. That's going to be a big key rebounding here for the Eels. A much smaller team, so it means you got to have a great block out, put a butt in their gut, and then go get that football as a team on rebounding.
16-footer. No. Rebound controlled by Monrovia. Off the miss. Tucker ran in transition. Runs it ahead. Kamek from the wing. Entry pass to Leeds. They should be able to do this all night long. The assist to Kamek, the bucket to Leeds.
Nice
5-2.
job. Nice job by getting the ball into the bigger, stronger Leeds. 6'7", a senior, really was able to use his height to his advantage there.
Followell picks up the defensive pressure. Little head and shoulders move. Leeds partially blocks it to Tucker Rand. Kamek skips it ahead to McClung. Cross courts it to Austin Leeds, up and in. 4 quick ones for Austin Leeds. The Bulldogs heating up in transition. A quick 5-point lead at 7-2.
Nice job of playing in transition. Nice job of going from defense to offense by the Bulldogs here. Now, if you are the Eels, you got to not turn the ball over like they did there.
Followell with a good look up before to Kamek. The lob to Leeds, and he missed the dunk, and a whistle. Walk going to be called on Todd Kamek. That might have brought the Bulldog fans to the roof.
Well, they understand what you have there. Great job by Todd of trying to get the ball over to Leeds. I just wasn't able to get it done.
Kevin Bradshaw wants to take a timeout with his ball club down 5. With Endeavor's ridiculously fast internet speeds, it's now easier for you to watch, work, study, and play all at the same time. Sign up today at join.weendeavor.com. Again, good look at Kevin Bradshaw. Good look at Jim Whitaker. Jim Whitaker standing to Kevin's left, the center of your screen. If you block now, longtime coach of multiple sports at Mooresville. And it's so very, very important to have a coach like that on the bench. Here's a look at the fast break, which led to the easy 2 for Austin Leeds.
When you push the tempo and you do it under control and you will keep your head up, you've got a chance now to have an easy shot, because now you put the pressure back on the defense where they have to come out and stop you.
Dylan Smith. Keaton gets shut off at the free throw line. Skips it. Baseline left. Open shot for Dylan Smith. They'll count the back bucket, and the foul is going to be charged against Eminence on the rebound. So count the basket and put the foul on Aiden Ray. Bulldogs in transition. Followell, the lob to Leeds, got it to fall. Kevin Bradshaw is not going to be happy with his team's inability to rotate back defensively.
You got to stop the ball. We saw that in the first game, lack of ability to do that. Because you have a height disadvantage here, you've got to make sure the ball is, that entry pass cannot be that close, or it's going to be a long night for the Eels.
Tucker Rand cutting off the passing lanes. Todd Kamek doing the same. A lot of contact, no call. Leeds leaning in to shut off Keaton. Scramble for the loose ball. Strong move underneath, up and in by Hayden Holly.
Great job by Holly in the middle of the trees there to be able to go up big and strong. 6'2", one of the bigger players for Eminence.
And a foul. Well, it's clear when I suggested to Nick Hinojosa, did he just make up his mind that he was going to focus on getting the ball to Austin Leeds? That appears, there's no reason not to.
You want to see how is Coach Kevin Bradshaw going to defend the 6'7" Leeds. Get it to him early and make them stop him and show their hand, and then adjust.
Fights for the rebound, lost the handle, and it went out of bounds. He wanted to go up for it before he had full control of it off the miss by Tucker Rand.
Team defense and team rebounding are going to be paramount for the Eels against a bigger unit for Monrovia here. Anxious to see if that can continue throughout the game.
3-point lead for the Bulldogs. Evan Keaton. Patient set for the Eminence Eels. Three-pointer, no. All green shirts underneath. Mason McClung with a rebound. They skip it ahead to Todd Kamick. Todd going to pull up. They'll leave him alone for three, and he got it to fall. Guess who the first one was in the gym today for the shoot-around?
I'm going to say Todd Kamick.
Indeed he was.
Well, as a senior, that's what you expect. You want your seniors to lead by example, and when you're the first one there and last one to leave, it sends a big message to your team.
Strong move to the bucket and the finish by Evan Keaton. Again, that's the lone returning varsity player for Kevin Bradshaw. Followell, strong move to the bucket and the finish. Gavin Followell going coast to coast.
Great job by the 6'2 senior, taking the ball, creating defense, and then the turnover, and then getting the ball down and for easy 2 points.
Double team now. Scramble for the loose ball. Out of bounds. It'll go to Monrovia. Substitution for the Bulldogs. Hale comes into the ball game.
And that was the third turnover for the Eels. And it looked like Evan Keaton is having a little trouble breathing, needs a little break.
Dustin Koshishevsky comes in, an outstanding football player for Andy Olson's ball club. All-purpose back. Really good defender. He has the basketball. Followell tracks down the loose ball. They wanted to go to Koshishevsky, but it gets knocked away.
Great job of hands that time by the Eels. Kevin Bradshaw knows that they've got to anticipate, do a great job of probably jump traps and do some things to disrupt this Bulldog team.
Hale with the ball inbounds. You might be familiar with Logan, who's on the staff at UIndy. Logan's younger brother. Logan played at Franklin. Younger brother played at Franklin as well. That Ron Monrovia's 2015 state championship football team. Hale family's been around Monrovia for a long time. Dad Rusty's on the coaching staff.
Good to see Trent out there representing and playing well. 6'3", and a senior. Always love to see your seniors play and play well.
6-point lead for the Bulldogs. 90 seconds to go in period one. Running one-hander across the paint. No good by Michaelis. Hale with the rebound. Skips it ahead to Tucker Rand. Tough pass. Tucker spins it too hard up off the rim and threw it up a little short. Ball knocked away in transition. Followell with it. Crosses over. Strong move. And he'll go to the free throw line.
I like Followell.
He's transition player, no doubt.
He has done. Gavin's done a nice job there of attacking the rim and creating contact. I like his anticipation on defense and like the way he's playing.
6'2 senior. Got a lot of minutes last year. Was their leading scorer at that Brown County scrimmage. He did a really good job of being at the top of the defense and releasing early, and got to credit his teammates for recognizing him getting up the floor. Got a lot of fast break points against Brown County. Hale fights for the rebound. Knocked out of bounds. Last touched by Eminence. Hale battles for the ball, kept it alive, and rewards the Bulldogs with an extra possession. Quick one into Leeds. Threw it up a little short, but a foul. Put that personal on Hayden Holly.
That's not what Kevin Bradshaw wants, for you to leave 6-7 leads all by himself 3 feet away from the basket. Holly had no choice but to foul him.
Missed everything.
Leads a little short there. A little short.
You'll hear about that sixth period on Monday, I promise you. Hustle play by Followell. To Leeds. Kamick. Deep three. No. Leeds fights for it and drew a little bit too much body. A really good block out by Dylan Crow.
Great job against Leeds. You have to block him out and then back him up.
Right.
Because he's going to be taller. He's going to out-jump you. His second foul, that would be huge for Kevin Bradshaw and the Eels to make sure Leeds is on the bench.
And that's where he goes. So Eminence, if nothing else, matches up better right now. And a cheap foul called on Hale. Trent Hale, the 6'3 senior. McClung's in there with him, along with Kamick. Followell.
Now, Mark, we saw this in the first game, and I'm assuming it's a point of emphasis by the IHSAA, the hand checks and the fouls, and you got to play defense without putting your hands on that player, and the officials have been pretty consistent in both games at calling those fouls.
Under a minute to play now. Eminence trails 15-8. Nice give and go through a lot of hands. Double team down low, a lot of contact, no foul. Finally, a tie-up out of bounds. It'll stay with Eminence.
Thought you were going to say a near fall there, because that's what it looked like there. A little wrestling match, and it was certainly was close.
Turned into a rugby scrum on the baseline. Deep inbounds comes to Aiden Ray. He and Smith make a pretty quick backcourt tandem for Kevin Bradshaw.
I think you can do some things with those kids. They really are quick. They're athletic, and they're going to cause some issues moving forward.
Good decision by Holly. Nobody really stepped out to defend him, and he just split the defense and made them draw the contact.
You got to stop the ball. You're going to hear me say it all game. You got to identify where the ball is, stop it. You cannot let Holly, in this case, get that deep into the paint. And again, it's going to be an and one or two shots.
6'2 junior goes to the free throw line, looking to cut that 7-point deficit. Bulldog cheerleaders finished third in the state at Newcastle a few weeks ago. Eminence band sounded in mid-season form tonight. It's a great time of the year.
We're great with Thanksgiving basketball starting. You've got football ending this weekend, and it's just great for high school athletics.
Kamick picks the dribble up at a dangerous spot, and a push is going to be charged on Dylan Crow in preparation for our games this weekend. During an 8-day period at the end of October, early November, over 8 days, Brebeuf won 3 championships. 3 state championships in 8 days as a school.
Not bad.
It's a foul on the inbounds.
There's 2 on Dylan Crow real quick in about a matter of about 6 seconds.
They'll look for a 4th this weekend in the 3A title game.
Like their chances. I know it's a game that we have. They're awfully talented, and it should be a great matchup.
(15-9), 10 seconds left in the quarter. Kamick gets it in bounds to Hale. Skips it over to McClung. 3-pointer, yes. 18-9, shot put up at the buzzer. We have played 1 quarter of basketball, and the Bulldogs have gotten off to a pretty good start in the debut for head coach Nick Hinojosa. They lead the Eminence Eels 18-9 after quarter number 1 on the ISC Sports Network.
Want lightning fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town. So you can download huge files in a flash. Stream videos at blazing speeds. And game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
First quarter score, 18-9 in favor of the Bulldogs, and Nick Hinojosa using size to his advantage by going early and often to Austin Leeds, who has 6 first quarter points. Gavin Followell with 4. That's the difference in this one so far.
They've done a nice job of great ball movement. They've got, if in Monrovia, you've got 4 players that have scored, led by Leeds.
That's a strong move to the rack for sure. And that's tough. I mean, you're going over the front of the rim there. That's not an easy thing to do. 8 points for Austin Leeds, 20-9.
Just shows his athleticism, and really, if you're Nick Bradshaw and these Eels, you've got to find a way to get the ball out of Leeds' hands.
Evan Keaton had some trouble. Couldn't find any help. Kamek goes to the bucket, gets bumped hard to the floor, and will go to the line for 2.
Second foul on Hayden Holly. Nice job by Kamek of pushing the tempo here. Look at here again. Great body control. Gets a shot up. Almost got the N1.
Seven points for Todd Kamek. To the bench, Justin Michaelis, the 5'11 senior, replaces Hayden Holly. Todd is going to be the proverbial straw that stirs the drink, it appears, for the Bulldogs this year. 8 points for him.
And happy to see him back from his football injury with the ankle, and just happy that he's able to have a great and a good start to his senior year.
Foul away from the basketball. Well, as we said, he didn't have a junior year. I mean, devastating injury during his junior year of football. Wiped out his basketball season. And then suffered kind of a re-aggravation of that injury. But with about a month off, appears early on to be close to full strength.
And he's moving well. Yeah, I know if there's something lingering, he's not showing it.
And one, Evan Keaton showing the benefit of his experience as the lone returning varsity player, and that's the 3rd foul on Austin Leeds with 7 minutes to go in the half.
Great move by Keaton. Uses the left hand, creates a little contact with Leeds. His 3rd. Austin will be on the bench for a while.
Keaton with 4 points, make it 5. Not going to score high in terms of style points, but he is an effective player, no doubt. Austin Hunt, a 6'6 junior, is a player that replaced Leeds, so they replaced size with size. And the good news for Hunt is the fact that he doesn't really need to be a factor offensively with the other options they have. He just needs to disrupt things defensively around the bucket.
And Austin Hunt's getting some valuable time here. Another turnover.
Kamek can't get it to fall. Might have been wise to back it out and redirect the offense. Credit Eminence for the triple team on the basketball and not giving up the easy deuce.
Great job of just playing that team defense and suffocating there with Kamek and causing the bad shot and creating the rebound.
Evan Keaton couldn't get the running one-hander to fall that time, but Monrovia touched it last.
You talk about bringing in a 6'6 junior in Hunt. This is huge for him to get minutes tonight.
Good shot in rhythm. Came up a little short by Reno Taylor. Battle for the loose ball, and it's controlled by McClung, and a foul. And there is nothing more aggravating than a foul like that is tacked on you so far away from the bucket. Especially when the fouls are starting to mount on the Eminence Eels.
Yes, they are. I think Evan Keaton was a little upset about his miss and compound that miss with a foul, and that's ill-advised as he being the biggest Eel out there at 6'3".
6'3" senior Mason McClung to the free throw line. He has a three-pointer on the night, looking to add to the 10-point lead, and does.
Nice rhythm, nice shot there by McClung. Like to see that.
5 points for him now, bumps the lead up to 24-12. 6-minute mark of the second quarter.
Got to find a way to chip away if you're Eminence here. You can't be down double digits at halftime.
That's a great play. Michaelis with the backdoor cut to the bucket for his first two.
Great job by Justin Michaelis of moving without the ball and cutting, and even better by his team.
Kick in the corner. McClung open for three. It's short. Battle for the loose ball. Tucker Rand finds it to Todd Kamick. He'll shoot three and hit. 11 points for Todd Kamick.
I think Nick Hinojosa was smart not playing him in that scrimmage. You need him healthy today, and we're seeing a healthy Todd Kamick.
Aiden Ray gets his pocket picked by Kamick. Tucker Rand to Followell. Followell to McClung. Tucker Rand. McClung. Baseline shot by Todd Kamick. No good. Weak side rebound controlled by the Eminence Eels.
Good job that time by Eminence of just limiting Monrovia to one shot. That's what they got to do if they're going to get back in this game.
Under 5 minutes to play now. Strong move to the bucket. Got the finger roll to fall. Give the bucket to Reno Taylor. That's his first two. And now all five starters have scored for Kevin Bradshaw, so they're sharing the wealth most assuredly.
Eminence is doing some good things. They just have to do a better job of rebounding, and they got to do a better job on the defensive end of the floor.
Officials timeout. Now check that. Nick Hinojosa wants to take timeout and talk things over. Nick Hinojosa, it's been a long time, well, not a long time, but the last few years been an assistant at Cascade, and lucky enough to be a part of the interview process. It impressed me as, a guy with a lot of intensity, but still very soft-spoken. But one of the questions that I asked him is that, how do you think you'll deal with maybe an overzealous parent, a parent that's a little aggravated, a little frustrated, or something like that, as all coaches have to do from time to time. It's the nature of it. And he goes, well, when I was in college living in Florida, he said, I managed a bar for 3 years. And there is nothing that I encountered at that bar that I don't think that I can't handle when it comes to my public relations as a basketball coach. And I thought that was a great answer.
Well, it was, and it just tells you, just like what has to happen with a coach, he can think on his feet. He's able to understand and diagnose what the problems are, but that is a great response to a tough question.
Well, and in terms of management, that managing an operation of any kind is very, very similar to what you do as a varsity head coach. You've got to manage it. You're the CEO.
And you got to have good people around you, and you got to make sure that you're able to communicate your wants and needs to your kids.
How about that? Tucker Rand, three-pointer off the dribble.
Huge,
6-foot sophomore gets on the board.
Huge bucket for Tucker Rand.
Nice transition basket by the Eminence Eels, leads to the easy deuce by Aiden Ray.
Good things happen when you share the basketball.
Tucker Rand, nice head and shoulders fake to give and go to Followell. He got it to fall. That's good two-man basketball.
Great give and go move without the ball, and then the great defensive overplay. I have that as turnover number 8.
Tucker Rand forces the turnover. A direct descendant of the legendary Branch McCracken is Tucker Rand, a Monrovia High School graduate himself, before winning a couple of national basketball championships at Indiana University.
The amount of coaches and great coaches that came from this area of the state is just impressive. If you're not aware of who's been here and who's coached.
You passed the birthplace of John Wooden on the way over here. I know he's from Martinsville, but was born in Hall, Indiana, which is not far from here. So Morgan County has a few national basketball championships.
If you like that kind of thing.
That's right.
You've got two of the most legendary, iconic figures in Indiana high school basketball history. I know John Wooden did all his coaching or his major coaching at UCLA, but he left a legacy in coaching.
Bryce Hale gets the good look from Dustin Koshashevsky and has to work a little harder than maybe he wished he had to get a shot off, and he'll go to the free throw line. Third
foul on Evan Keaton. I believe great job by Hale of just hustling and getting the defensive or offensive rebound and putting it back up.
Got that one to roll around and in. Trent Hale, 6'3" senior. Primary contributor for that basketball team at Monrovia. Koshashevsky with the rebound, got it to fall. More points coming off the bench.
That is huge for Coach Nick Hinojosa to get points off his bench. Valuable points, huge in this game.
Good coast-to-coast drive by Dylan Smith. He just could not get it to fall. Substitution for the Eels, Joel Mobley, 6'3" junior comes in. Coming to the sidelines will be Justin Michaelis. Evan Keaton will be the player.
Well, that's right.
To the sidelines.
All of a sudden, I was trying to figure that one out. Why Michaelis was coming off the game or off the floor when I knew Keaton had 3 fouls.
Good look down low. Shot put up by Mobley. Won't fall, but he'll go to the free throw line.
Was able to get Trent Hale to reach in there. Great ball movement by the Eels. Nice job by Mobley of making himself open and present. Great entry pass as well.
Got the free throw to fall. Eels have done pretty well from the free throw line tonight as McClung returns for the Bulldogs. I like Smith and Aiden Ray as their guard tandem. Keaton does a lot of good things around the bucket for him. Both free throws good from Mobley. Rand and Hale with under 3 minutes to play. Get the ball up the floor. Follow-well to Koshashevsky. Can't get it to fall, but it'll go to the line.
Got Mobley on his back. Great job by Koshashevsky there of moving without the ball. Look, again, great movement. Great job of getting to the rim, not able to finish.
Missed that free throw. He's got a couple of points off the bench. Active player offensively. That one rolls around and back out. Hale saves it to Follow-well. He throws it up a little short. Battle for the loose ball and control to Reno Taylor. Follow-well picks his pocket. Tucker Rand, strong move to the bucket. Looks like they'll want to reset the offense now.
I like that. Look and take a good look to see, do you have it? If you don't, then reset it. Great move. Goodness gracious.
Dustin Koshashevsky with 4 points, and they're doing all of this with Todd Kamick on the bench, and Austin Leeds on the bench with 3 fouls.
I like the bench play and the contributions that the bench is giving Coach Hinojosa early in this first game.
Todd Kamick getting ready to come back. He has 11 points in the first half.
If your Eminence move without the basketball, one of the hardest things to be able to do. 10th turnover there.
McClung picks up the loose ball. Nice give and go to Follow-well, and he's there for the easy deuce. Gavin Follow-well with 8 points. 39-19, 20-point lead for the Bulldogs. Under 2 minutes to play.
If I'm Nick Hinojosa, I'm pretty happy right now. I'm playing pretty good defense. I'm getting some great bench scoring.
Well, I've been impressed with their up-tempo style.
Yep.
I mean, transition basketball. I mean, that's, they have run some good, solid, patient sets of the half court, but boy, they see the floor very well.
They've done a really good job of transferring from defense to offense, and with the turnover, making Eminence pay tonight. But it's just been, I've been impressed with their overall presence and how they played.
Minute 43, Austin Hunt returns for the Bulldogs along with Todd Kamick. Turnaround jumper, 12 feet out on the baselines and no go by Mobley. Rebound controlled by the Bulldogs. Todd Kamick in transition with 90 seconds to play in the half. Rand looking.
Good inside-out movement by the Bulldogs.
Top of the key, three-pointer. No. Tracks down his own rebound. Draws the defense. Kamick, three-pointer in transition is good. 14 points for Todd Kamick off the nice dish from Tucker Rand, who tracked out his own rebound.
Great job by Tucker Rand not giving up on the play and then finding his senior running mate there, Kamick, and was able to knock it down.
Aiden Ray gets the rebound. He can't control it. Shot comes down to Dylan Smith, and Dylan Smith has his fourth point.
Great job by Dylan Smith of not giving up on the play.
Todd Kamick with a rare miss from the on the arc. Weak side rebound controlled by Reno Taylor. Ahead to Dylan Smith. Half a minute to play.
Got to move without the basketball if you're Eminence.
12-footer on the baseline. Justin Michaelis, 4 points off the bench for Kevin Bradshaw. Bulldogs in transition. McClung for three. Rebound controlled by Austin Hunt. Todd Kamick says, let's slow it down. And Nick Hinojosa wants to take a quick 30-second timeout to draw up one more. So 14 for Kamick, 8 for Followell, 8 for Leeds, 5 for Mason McClung. Dustin Kostrashevsky's chipped in 4 off the bench. Trent Hale with a point. Balanced scoring for the Eminence Eels coach, just not enough of it. About everybody that's been in the ballgame's gotten into the scoring act.
They've done a good job. If I'm Kevin Bradshaw, you've got to knock out a few more shots. Your transition defense has not been great. That's probably been one of the biggest things that he'll look at after this game and say, okay, we've got to do a better job of getting back on defense, stopping the basketball, and then giving ourselves a chance by playing team basketball when it comes to rebounding the ball.
Endeavor Communications offers high-speed service that businesses and residences need to stay ahead. Get the internet performance that makes it all happen ridiculously fast at WeEndeavor.com. 10.6 seconds left. Let's see what Coach Hinojosa drew up. Rand, little head and shoulders fake. Clock starts to wind down now. Ball knocked out of bounds, and it'll go to the Eminence Eels with 5.5 seconds left. I don't think that's what he drew up. Don't you love that as a coach when you come off a timeout and that happens?
It's one of those things that the best late plans don't always happen, and in that case, it certainly didn't.
Time expires without the Eels getting off a shot. So at halftime, 42-24, Monrovia leading the Eminence Eels. And we'll be back with our special guest, the Assistant Commissioner of the IHSAA, Brian Lewis, after this timeout on the ISC Sports Network.
Of the literally thousands, check that, hundreds, check that. Okay, some sports card shows that are out there in the world. The Andy and Bruno show is the one you should watch, because we have Andy, who's been there and done that, everything in the hobby, and is now a mogul.
Mogul.
Yes.
And we have a guy, Bruno, he talks too much. I can't help it.
Watch the Andy and Bruno show and hear me talk too much.
Yes, and hear me smile.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
At Defining Looks on Sagamore Parkway North in Lafayette, talk to a specialist and discuss your specific needs for wigs or toppers. Defining Looks is committed to helping anyone experiencing hair loss to lead a normal lifestyle. Our wigs are of the highest quality, allowing us to customize to your personal style. Shop our large selection for your medical, cosmetic, or fashion needs. Confident, bold, and fashionable. Be your own kind of beautiful at Defining Looks. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Eminence High School at halftime, your score 42-24 as the Monrovia Bulldogs lead the Eminence Eels. Happy to be joined by the newest assistant commissioner of the Indiana High School Athletic Association, Brian Lewis. And, well, Coach, I tell you, it's kind of been an old home week for you from what I understand. What, you went to Jasper last night, and then you're here at Eminence to watch the Bulldogs. A long history with both schools.
It does. You know, the great thing is to get out and watch our kids play in front of packed crowds at this point in time, and to see this after last year is fantastic. Gyms are packed, kids are out, people are excited. We get Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow. It can't get any better than this.
Well, it's an exciting time of year for the IHSAA. I mean, you just wrapped up or getting ready to wrap up a successful fall campaign, and as you mentioned, packed crowds, a lot of folks on hand for games, and certainly all of your state championship events. And then we're going to cap off what I think, to me personally, is one of the most enjoyable weekends of the year, the high school football state finals at Lucas Oil Stadium.
It is, and we're excited. We're expecting big crowds, and to watch 12 teams that have battled all year long to finally get to this point and to enjoy that experience. We have to thank the Colts, and the ability to play in Lucas Oil is not something that's afforded to student athletes across the country. So we're extremely thankful to the Colts and excited for a great weekend.
Well, we can expand upon that because I would say that in terms of not only the venues, but also the relationships with professional sports teams, it's unparalleled, I think, anywhere in the state in terms of anywhere in the country in terms of what the IHSAA is able to accomplish with our pro sports venues and their teams. Absolutely.
We're very fortunate, and I hope the people of Indiana and our student athletes enjoy the experiences at these venues between the Indiana Fever, the Indiana Pacers, the Indianapolis Colts, all of our venues across the board. They get to play in first-class venues, and it's a class act, and it's one of those makes a weekend like this something people look forward to from year to year.
Well, personally and professionally, I thank you, Mike Springer, and our superintendent at the time, Bill Roberson, because when you were athletic director at Monrovia, you were instrumental in giving me the opportunity to come back home. I wish you hadn't bolted a year later, but I knew why you did, because you had a chance to go home to Jasper, and I know you spent some good years there and had a great time, and while certainly in one instance the decision was not a difficult one to accept this challenge from the IHSAA, this is kind of what you always had your career goal set on, isn't it?
It is. I tell people all the time that when I went home to Jasper, that was the only place I was going to go, and that was the place I was going to retire, and this would be the only job I'd leave it for. And so we're fortunate to be in the position I'm in now, and to be able to go to work with such a great staff and great people every day is exceptional. And it's been a great move for my family, and we're settling in, building a house, and ready to make Westfield home again for a long time. Now, not only is Brian Lewis and his wife and his family, children, moving to the north side of Indianapolis, you got mom and dad to leave Jasper too, huh? Grandparents are coming up also, and I joke with mom and dad all the time. I've lived all over the state, and they've never worried about where I was. You add two kids to the mix, and all of a sudden they're going to move with us. Yeah. You know how that is. Yeah, I can relate to that plenty. That's for darn sure. So what sports? Each assistant commissioner is in charge of certain championship events. You're gracious enough to invite me to take a look at the cross-country state finals, something that I think we'll work together on moving forward. But what other events will you have throughout the course of the year? I have cross-country, boys basketball, track and field, and unified track and field. So, we're just now getting into the basketball season with 6 football games to go, and already looking at the spring and getting ready for the track state championships and the unified track state championships. In just a couple of years on the job, I would say Paul Knighting, boy, you talk about a thankless situation. He took over as commissioner, and then a pandemic hit, but boy, what a steadying influence he was in guiding along with the other assistant commissioners. And I know they're quick to give a lot of the credit to the administrators and the ADs and the coaches for allowing us to play a season during a pandemic.
But all of that organization had to start somewhere, and I think it started in Paul Neidig's office.
Well, I don't know that you can ask for a perfect situation anytime you take over, but his was far from that. And I think everybody across the state would agree that we're in a position we are in high school sports and were throughout the last year as we continued to play our events all year long when many states couldn't. And that's a credit to Paul Neidig and the IHSAA and the entire staff.
Well, as I said, I'll always be indebted to you for all you did to get me home. And I appreciate your friendship for sure, and look forward to a long and happy and healthy association. Look forward to spending some time with you at Lucas Oil this weekend.
Well, I appreciate everything you do. It's always a pleasure to come back, Mark.
All right, thanks, Coach. Take care. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. That's Brian Lewis, Assistant Commissioner of the IHSAA.
Thank you.
Lance Shivery joins me after this timeout on the ISC Sports Network.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
Mark Janes, Lance Shive, as both teams back out onto the floor. Actually, Eminence Eels getting ready to head back out onto the floor. So if you're Kevin Bradshaw, I think, don't you have to tell your basketball team, hey, look, don't pay any attention to the scoreboard. We've got to do it possession by possession.
There are things that you have to do early in this season, and now you've got it on film. And so if you're Kevin Bradshaw, keep playing. They did some good things as we're seeing here in that first half. They drove to the lane well. They rebounded at times well. They turned the ball over a little bit too much. And they just have got to do a better job of playing better team defense and team rebounding. But there were some bright spots, or guard play I thought was really good. And those are things that Kevin Bradshaw will build on.
Nick Hinojosa has to be pleased with the balance. I mean, obviously the game plan early, as we discussed with him, was to exploit the size advantage that they had. They did that. But even after in the second quarter, when he gave Todd Kamick some extended minutes on the bench just to give him a little bit of a breather, and Austin Leeds got in some foul trouble, you had Mason McClung and Tucker Rand and Dustin Krosiszewski come in and give them a nice boost, and really they extended that lead a bit.
Well, 7 players scored in that first half, and when you have that and you have your 2 top guns out for whatever reason, and you're able to expand that lead to your point, that's a big deal, and that's something that you can build on if you're Nick Hinojosa.
Didn't get a chance to visit much with him, but Alex Willett came over to say hello. Andrew Willett helped kind of, as a student, helped me revive or start a communications program at Monrovia. He's now in the Sports Link program at Ball State, doing very, very well. He did an internship at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway last summer, and then in addition to that, looks like he's going to get a grad assistantship with Sports Link. He was actually the floor director for our volleyball broadcast a couple of weeks ago, so great to see him, and had brother Alex with him, who played for Monrovia last year and now is playing at Mount St. Joe's at that competitive HCAC.
Well, great family. Happy to see good things happen to good people. Andrew certainly falls under that category, and I just know his future is bright, mainly because of the tutelage of yourself, but he has taken full advantage of that. And just happy to see him.
Well, that's a little thing because, you guys have met over the years several times. The kid comes over. He doesn't just say hi to me. Hey, yes. Coach Shive, how you doing? So that speaks well for him for sure.
Well, it should be an interesting second half here. Again, if you're Kevin Bradshaw, there's a lot of things that you can build on. But you're now seeing it on film, in live, during game. And now you can really make some big growth here, not just at halftime in the second half, but in the next couple games.
Austin leads with some room on the baseline and the flush. 10 points for Austin Leeds. 44-24. Back the other way, Eminence. Good look by Aiden Ray, just couldn't get it to fall. Bulldogs in transition, and the easy bucket for Followell. And I think that's one of the things that Kevin Bradshaw will be working on most assuredly is that transition defense, because, Coach, it's been non-existent tonight.
It's not been there at all. It's just something that, again, they're watching too much. I think that's probably the biggest thing right now is you've got to be able to move your feet and go from defense to offense or offense to defense. In that case, especially after a missed rebound.
Hayden Holly with the bucket for Eminence off the rebound. Austin Leeds, finger roll in the paint. No good. Rebound controlled by the Eminence Eels. 46-26, the advantage for the Bulldogs.
Good job that time by Eminence on the defensive rebounding, and that's something that if they can focus on that, they do some really good things here. I just think they're going to be better off, and their future is going to be good as they play upcoming games.
Tucker ran with a strong move to the bucket. He gets bumped on the way. It'll go out of bounds to the Bulldogs.
Nice job of transitioning again. Foul was on Reno Taylor, but nice job by the Bulldogs again of going from defense to offense quickly.
Ball rotation to Todd Kamick, and he has 17 points.
Todd has played well. He's played as well as you want a senior to play, especially coming off the injury of last year where he couldn't play.
Wide open. Misfire by Aiden Ray. Weak side rebound, rotates the ball around to Reno Taylor, and he's able to get the three to fall. 5 points for Taylor.
Nice job by Reno Taylor. Little officials timeout. We had a little bit of a injury there by Tucker Rand.
We're taking a look at Tucker right now. Officials timeout. Trainer going to look him over. And I think it may be a 30-second timeout. I don't really see exactly what happened to Tucker. I don't know if he had contact with another player or what. But that brings Trent Hale in off the bench. Trent gave him some solid minutes. 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Had a couple of open looks that couldn't fall.
Yeah, Trent played really well long at 6'3". He's going to get some valuable minutes moving forward.
Followell to McClung. Inside the Leeds. Too easy. 12 for Austin Leeds.
You can't let Leeds have the ball that low. You've got to get him out of the lane. Second three for Reno Taylor, but you've got to find a way to get the Leeds away from the basket or make it disruptive on getting the ball to him.
8 points for Reno Taylor. Kamick tracks down the loose ball. Leeds handles the ball fairly well for a 6'7" kid.
Very athletic. Does a lot of really good things.
Followell called for the travel. Gavin gave him some good minutes in the first half. Scored the first 2 of the second half. He's in double figures with 10. 3, in fact. Kamick with 17, Leeds with 12, and Followell with 10. Reno Taylor's heated up recently. Good step out by Austin Leeds because Taylor was loading up the 3.
He had done a nice job the last 2 possessions to be able to get a shot off there. And good job, like you talked about, with Leeds. Taylor still gets a shot off.
Good rebound by Hayden Holly. Gives it off to Reno Taylor, and Taylor's now in double figures with 10. He scored 8 straight points for his ball club.
Great job by Hayden Holly of seeing where Taylor was and to be able to get the ball to him.
Followell from about 6 feet out. Too hard off the back of the rim. Rebound controlled by the Eminence Eels.
Anytime Eminence can limit Monrovia to 1 shot, it's a huge win because, again, rebounding is something they've got to do a better job with.
Too much dribbling, and Trent Hale with the theft. Goes coast to coast. He gets the easy deuce. 3 points for Trent Hale.
13th turnover on the game for Eminence, and I've only got Monrovia with 2. And so if I'm Nick Hanahosa, I'm happy about how they protected the ball. And Kevin Bradshaw has got to get his kids to create more turnovers.
And again, 2 first-year coaches tonight going head-to-head. What a way to make your debut in this battle for the powder keg. Jump ball, possession arrow, Monrovia.
And I think both coaches have done a really good job of making some adjustments, seeing what they have, and then moving forward. I think that's hard because both of them really didn't know what they had because this is that first game.
Tucker's recovered fully. He comes back with Krzyzewski. Dustin with 4 points. As we mentioned, best player, one of the best football players in the Indiana Crossroads Conference. Dustin Koshashevsky, we've got a hold away from the basketball. That's what Austin leads, I think, and if so, that's number 4, and that will bring Austin Hunt off the bench. And again, this is valuable for Austin Hunt to get these minutes, but this is where they miss Hunter Leeds, Austin's brother, also at 6'7", who's lost for the foreseeable future because of an injury suffered during football season. Aiden Ray, Koshashevsky, loses the handle. Nice block by Hale. Kamek tracks down the loose ball. To Tucker Rand. Back to Kamek. Carried it. Under control is where you want to be.
Well, a little helter-skelter there, and if you're both coaches, I would not be surprised if somebody has a timeout coming up here. That was a nice carry there.
It's getting a little ragged, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Again, they lost a little bit of focus, and again, it's 19 points. And you can say all you want as a coach, but you've got to try to keep your focus.
Kevin Bradshaw, as we mentioned, longtime assistant at Monrovia, both football and basketball. Inbounds. Evan Keaton with 7 points. See why Kevin Bradshaw is going to rely on him plenty. Coach Krzyzewski had the easy layup, a lot of contact, no call. Knocked out of bounds, last touch by the Eminence Eels. McClung will come in, and Todd Kamek will get a break, maybe for the final 3:03 of the quarter.
I like what Nick Henhost has done. He's played a lot of guys, a lot of players, and getting good, valuable minutes. It's just something. It leads to better team chemistry. It gives guys experience, and let's see what they really can do underneath these lights.
Tucker Rand misfires on the 3. Under 3 to go. Dylan Smith in transition. Baseline to Aiden Ray. And he walked with the basketball. Endeavor Communications offers high-speed service that businesses and residences need to stay ahead. Get the internet performance that makes it happen ridiculously fast at weendeavor.com. Hale for 3. No. Koshashevsky with the putback. No, but a foul.
Koshashevsky, great job just of understanding where the ball was going to carry him off of the rim. Anticipation, got off the floor quickly, and was able to get the ball back up to the rim, draw the foul, wasn't able to knock it down, but he's got 2 shots.
Now, you've been through it, but, I mean, he may be one of those guys that, quite frankly, is transitioning athletically from football to basketball, and talk about that process and how difficult that could be.
The biggest thing is coming indoors. When you try to go from running outside to running inside, it feels like your lungs are going to explode. So that getting your legs underneath you and just understanding just the different fundamentals, but the getting yourself in shape, even though you played football all year outside, it's a big deal.
And 1 for Evan Keaton. Moving dangerously close to double figures as he drops in his 9th point and put the foul on Mason McClung. That is a strong move.
And Evan Keaton has certainly benefited from Austin Leeds being off the floor.
Followell in transition. Nice stop-and-go move. Rejected by Evan Keaton.
Evan Keaton is playing very, very well. He's got 10 points now. He's just got to watch it. He's got 3 fouls.
I think Reno Taylor expected to get absolutely hammered, which is why he missed that layup.
When you anticipate it, which I understand it's a very normal process, you just have to brace for contact and go up softly.
Good look at Todd Kamek as he returns. 32nd timeout. Looks as though going to be taken by the Eminence Eels. Kevin Bradshaw said after playing at Cedarville University many years ago, he said he always knew he wanted to be a boys basketball coach. He says he used it as a platform to mentor young men. And, he was a guy that a lot of folks would love to have as an assistant basketball coach, and he's been an assistant football coach. But, he's applied for a few jobs over the past couple of years, and nothing ever materialized. And then I think the last time this job was open, he finished runner-up. Todd Haney, who was an assistant under Brian Barber at Danville, came here, got a lot out of this program, and made it very, very competitive. And when the job came open, he didn't hesitate. He said it's a place he wanted to be, and it all worked out for him.
I like it when good things happen to good people, and Kevin Bradshaw has paid his dues, and happy to see him being rewarded with his Eminence job.
I like him, I do. Evan Keaton, 12 points for Keaton. We mentioned he was the guy, the lone experienced varsity player returning for Kevin Bradshaw. And the lead is at 53-41.
I was just going to say it went from 20 to 12 now, and that's something that this is you've got your best player and leads on the bench. You got to answer if you're the Bulldogs.
Todd Kamick, a lot of contact, got the bucket to fall, no call. 19 for Todd.
Todd has played so well, just in so many phases. Scoring obviously is a big deal for him, but he's done a nice job.
Approaching a minute to play, 14-point lead for the Bulldogs.
Good possession here by the Eels. Be patient. Give yourself a good shot. This is a big deal.
Dylan
Nice ball
Smith,
fake.
Stop and go. Throws it up short. Koshashevsky with the rebound, gets fouled by Dylan Smith.
Boy, how often do we see, Mark, that one bad thing leads to another. He has a miss, and all of a sudden you have that frustration, and here comes that foul by Dylan Smith. They really can ill afford to have him on the bench.
Tucker ran a little too lazy on the pass, and it goes into the hands of Evan Keaton, and he gets fouled on his way to the bucket. Evan Keaton has put his team on his back and has scored 7 points in this quarter.
Evan has done a great job, 6'3" junior, really a great job on rebounding, has seized the floor well, and he's up to 12 points now with a chance to add to it.
Sectional titles in 62, 78, 07, and 2011. Won a regional championship in 1962 as Keaton missed the free throw. 13 points for him. Last winning season, Todd Shoup in the 2010-2011 campaign. They were 14-10. First began play in 1919. And the good things continue for Evan Keaton. He's up to 14 points now. And it is a 55-43 basketball game.
12-point game. Again, you're within striking distance if you're Eminence. And so Kevin Bradshaw has to be happy the way his kids have battled, with now a chance to put this thing to 10 or 9 with under 20 seconds.
He's going to pull up for three and hit it. He is unconscious. Evan Keaton now with 17 points. 12 of those coming in this quarter. 55-46. Todd Kamick, clock down to 1 second. Deep three by Todd, no good. And a run by the Eminence Eels to close out the quarter on the red-hot shooting inside and out by Evan Keaton. Closes the gap to 55-46 from downtown. Evan Keaton, 17 points on the night. Fourth quarter action when we come back. The IHSAA Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And, of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on IHSAA Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
How would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not going
before.
to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, IHSASportsNetwork.com, IHSAA Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications, technology for real people.
Welcome back. 55-46. Good run by the Eels to close out the quarter. Sectional championships for the Bulldogs, by the way, in 1932-42, 96, 98, 99, 2000, and 2019. That 96 sectional championship at Martinsville, single class system. Roger Hayden was the center on that team, and Nick Hinojosa brought Roger in to talk to the kids last night. Connect them with their storied past. Followell shot no good. Eminence with the rebound.
Now, if you're Monrovia, you got to find a way to get Leeds back involved, because right now, Eminence is feeling it.
Aiden Ray was 7 points, 55-49. Leeds missed. Nobody underneath. Eminence with the rebound.
6-point game. Exactly what you wanted and what the doctor ordered. You just can't turn the ball over.
Kamek off the steal. Followell inside the Leeds. Kick in the corner. McClung at 3. No good. Followell with the weak side rebound. Forces it up in traffic. Got it to fall. Big bucket. Big answer by Gavin Followell.
Great job of an extra possession there by getting the extra rebound, offensive rebounding. That's been something that Eminence did a much better job in the third quarter of limiting Monrovia to that.
And a foul. When that pressure comes, you get your hands straight up, because if you go in like that and you slap down, you're going to get that call every time.
Always slap up. When you slap down, it's always a foul. You slap up, you got a chance.
Good look at Kevin Bradshaw. He has coaxed his team back into this one behind that guy, Evan Keaton. Thought about the 3. Did he double dribble?
Yes.
He knew it.
Officials, everybody kind of paused because it was like, wait a minute, did he just do what I think he did? And so that was Benoya.
57-49. Bulldogs saw a 20-point lift, seen a 20-point lead evaporate. And we've got a foul away from the basketball, going to go against Eminence. Put that personal on Hayden Holly.
Should be his 4th. No, they say it's on 24, Aiden Ray.
Okay, Aiden Ray.
It's a little better because that would have been 4 on Holly.
Lob inbounds to Leeds, knocked away by Hayden Holly, and then the ball is tied up on the inbounds. And it'll go to Eminence.
Look for Monrovia now to pick him up a little bit and see if they can just wear him down a little bit.
McClung tries to make the steal and can't. Pesky Eminence not going away. Reno Taylor, baseline drive. Good defense by Tucker Rand. Well, you can tell Keaton wants a little bit of a gap. Tries to get open. 3-pointer by Dylan Smith. No. Weak side rebound to Hayden Holly. To the flashing Dylan Smith, who lays it up and in. Great cut to the bucket. Good recognition. Back to a 6-point lead. McClung, reverse, up and in. Bulldogs with an answer so far.
Got ourselves a great contest up and down the floor. Both coaches have to be happy because they're both playing well.
I bet you Nick Hinojosa's not happy with losing a 20-point lead.
Well, I'd say you're probably right on that one.
How about that move? Nobody got anything for him tonight. 19 points for Evan Keaton. Back to a 6-point lead. And this has turned into a prize fight.
This is a great timeout by Nick Hinojosa. But if you're Eminence and Kevin Bradshaw, you're happy the way you've clawed back into this thing.
Well, I think if you're Nick Hinojosa, what's happening now is one of the concerns that he had when it came to the Brown County scrimmage. He said, we just were not closing out possessions defensively. And we worked on it and worked on it and worked on it. And here's a prime example of that. Nobody rotates down to help. They leave Evan Keaton to go one-on-one. And you know, as a player, you pay attention to what's going on. And if you see Evan Keaton get the basketball, I think somebody's got to help.
Well, you've got to understand who's hot. And right now, Keaton is hot. That is a big, big deal. You want to make sure you find Reno Taylor from behind the three-point line, and then Evan Keaton, wherever he is, because those two have brought back Eminence in this game. Is why now it's just a 6-point game.
Good crowd on hand tonight. Bulldogs brought plenty of fans. Here's a look at the student section from above. There's the good folks from Eminence, Indiana, home of the Eels. And this gym underwent a massive renovation a few years ago under the guidance of my good friend who was superintendent at the time, Jeff Gibney, who's now doing the same thing at Greencastle High School after spending a few years as superintendent at Bloomfield. But they're renovating the McAnally Center. They put turf in the football over at Greencastle and put the new weight room in.
It's great to see you putting money and time into kids and to the future. If you want to affect our future, again, help schools out. Come watch games and do things, because it just allows for our future to remain bright.
Todd Kamek with a move to the bucket, threw it up a little short. Rebound controlled by the Eminence Eels. Again, the lead down to 6 at 59-53, approaching the 5-minute mark.
A bucket here makes this thing really interesting.
Taylor, follow well. That's a good move. Hayden Holly. 7 points for Holly, and it's 59-55.
Got to stop the ball. Ooh, thought he traveled.
Followell. McClung. Missed everything. And a hustle play by Gavin Followell keeps it on the Bulldogs' end.
You look back here, and Monrovia's able to pull this thing out. You're going to look back at that hustle play. That's a big deal. That's a nice job by Followell there of taking the ball off of Keaton there. Huge deal. Huge play by Followell.
Hale comes in from McClung. They throw it deep to Tucker Rand. Rand. Shot thrown up a little short by Austin Leeds. Rebound to Eminence. Give Eminence credit. They forced Austin Leeds out away from the bucket a little bit. He's not nearly as close to that block as he was. How about that shot? Reno Taylor. Strong move to the bucket. 12 points for Reno Taylor.
Give me a warning for Reno Taylor after the bucket.
Yeah.
You can't touch it after the ball goes in. Good job by the officials.
Yeah, he slapped the ball away. You saw it after the ball went through the hoop. It is a 2-point lead for the Monrovia Bulldogs. Todd Kamek in transition. A lot of contact there and no call. It's a bad place to pick your dribble up. Rand to Leeds, to Kamek in the corner. Back to Leeds, and that's a foul. Still a foul to give. Put that one on Hayden Holly.
It's his fourth. If you're Hayden Holly, you got to move Leeds off that block. At 6'7", he gets the ball down that low, it's over.
Inbounds to Hale. Strong move. Trent Hale with 5. 61-57. Back to a 4-point lead in the 4-minute mark. Three-pointer. No good. Hale fights for the rebound. Ball loose on the floor. Scramble for it. Alternating possession. Gives the ball to Monrovia. Dustin Kostraszewski comes back into the ball game for the Bulldogs. Todd Kamek going to take a break. I would guess for no more than a minute.
Yeah, you're going to want to keep him out. There we go. I was kind of curious about taking Todd out of the game.
Okay.
That makes a little more sense, but Followell has been awesome all game.
I don't expect him to be on the sidelines very long.
No.
Tucker ran. Really good ball handler. Sees the floor very, very well. He's going to grow with confidence. Hale to Leeds. That's what they need to do. That's what they did to start the ball game, and it was very effective. Great recognition. 4 straight for them now. Back to 63-57.
A lot of pressure now on Eminence to match what Monrovia is doing. Monrovia offensively has got an easier time of scoring just with Leeds, and so you got to find a way to match that and then get the ball out of Leeds' hands.
Ball out of bounds. Unforced error goes back to the Bulldogs.
That's the 18th turnover on the game for Eminence. But it's, again, give Monrovia credit. They've taken Eminence's best shot, and they're still ahead.
I mean, you know, when you get down 20, it takes so much energy to get back into it. Unforced error. Tucker Rand gives it right back to Reno Taylor. That's a foul on Todd Kevin. You know, I do not understand, and I have yet to find a coach to explain it to me, why this game has transitioned into the point to where you get the ball on the wing and you take it up the sidelines. I don't know of anything good that has ever come of that. You know, I would think you would want the basketball to the middle of the floor more often than not, as we have a quick timeout on the floor.
Yeah, and that's something that is how things go and how things are done. You want to be able to get the ball in the middle of the floor. You allow better things to be able to happen when the ball is in the middle of the floor.
It's like doing a game with our good friend Bob Lovell. I mean, your relationship with officials, I think now are a lot better that you stopped coaching than they were when you were coaching. I mean, they're all so nice to you. They come over and smile and wave.
Well, I think they're trying to figure this whole thing out of seeing me on the basketball floor. They're probably trying to figure that one out as well. But no, it's these guys are all a really good crew and experienced crew. Does football and basketball, but they've done a great job all game.
63-57 with the time running down now.
If you'd have told Kevin Bradshaw, hey, you're going to have the ball or you're going to be on defense down 6 with 3 minutes to go in the game, he'd have taken that.
Yeah.
At any time.
Yeah.
Your kids have battled hard. They battled back. To your point, they've extended so much energy. They were down 20. Now they had it to 2, and now just to be down 6, that is such a big deal.
Inbound to Dylan Smith. Now to Aiden Ray. They tried to free Evan Keaton up on the block, and they do. Todd Kamek comes over to help. He throws it up on Austin Leeds. Can't get it to fall, but Eminence scraps for the loose ball. Keaton throws it up from 15. Can't get it to fall, and we've got a foul away from the bucket. Tucker Ram with pretty good position on the weak side rebound.
Great job of fundamental rebounding, fundamental defense there. Nick Hinojosa is going to be happy about that come watching the film on Thursday or Friday.
Hale has it knocked away and gets it back. 6-point lead for the Bulldogs. Tucker Ram puts up the 3, throws it up short. Koshashevsky was in pretty good position for the rebound and just bounced out longer than he thought it would.
You got to be able to know where the shooters are. You got to find Reno Taylor if you're Monrovia.
They've got him. Got Hale on him with a hand up. Dylan Smith. Clock rolling toward the 2-minute mark. Pretty good pass inside to Evan Keaton, and he throws it up and over the bucket. Weak side rebound by Hayden Holly. He's there to clean it up. He's played a good half for him. 9 points for Hayden Holly, back to a 63-54 advantage. Koshashevsky goes coast to coast, and it's going to be a goaltend on Austin Leeds. Wave it off.
So now you've got Eminence down 4 with the ball under 2 minutes. This place is going to go crazy if they can convert. Leeds again. The ball is in the cylinder. Great call by the officials.
How about this gritty performance by Kevin Bradshaw and the Eminence Eels? Gotta love it.
They have battled. They've overcome a lot, and again down 20, it just doesn't happen. But in this game, when you got the momentum, it's pretty good.
Strong move to the bucket, threw it up a little bit too hard, did Reno Taylor. Austin Leeds shovels it ahead to Followell, to Hale, fast break, bucket up and in. That is going to be a difference maker. 7 points now for Hale, 65-59 with 1:20 to play.
Nick Hinojosa has to be happy about his defense. That was a big possession, up 4 or only 4 with a chance to go to 2 to get the turnover and then the transition. Huge. Another turnover.
Followell picks up the loose ball, throws it up in traffic, threw it up a little too short, and a blocking foul charged on Aiden Ray. And the reality of the situation, I think, is starting to set in a bit. especially if Followell successful from the free throw line. But make no mistake about it, Kevin Bradshaw, a lot to feel good about with this basketball team.
He needs to feel really good. I mean, again, you really don't know what you have, especially in his case, because with only one experienced player back, in which Evan Keaton has done a nice job with 19. But just the grit, determination. How do you handle adversity? How do you handle the actual game type of experience? And they've handled it very well.
Followell, 1 of 2 from the line, 13 points for him. 66-59, and Kevin Bradshaw wants to take a timeout and talk things over. You know, he says it's an honor and a privilege to be a head basketball coach, as the old saying goes. You know, there's only so many jobs available in the state of Indiana, and you know, he teaches building trades and construction at Mooresville High School, and he also has his own construction company, his own business, and he doesn't need this. He wants this, and he wants to do it to the benefit of the kids. I want to tell you how far back I go with Kevin Bradshaw. In the early 1980s, we worked together at Burger Chef at Mooresville. You remember Burger Chef?
Was a huge fan of Burger Chef, so yeah, so
that goes back a ways for sure.
Well, you talk about why Kevin does this, and I think that is, you know, it's just a thankless job that, you know, but it's something you do it for the right reasons. You do it because of the community and the kids, and you're helping shape these young men into the next generation of leaders, and I think that's a big deal, and that's a satisfaction that all coaches get, and we both definitely understand that.
But I mean, what it must be like to come here and practice every day. You know, I mean, just the history that's a part of this. I mean, you know, this is living, breathing history. This gym. You know, they've had great teams here over the years. You could look across the way at the banners going all the way back to the 1960s, as we said, and you know, some of the great teams they had in the early 70s as well, and you know, the renovation a few years ago. I mean, you saw the light show, the way they introduced the starting lineups and everything. I mean, this is it. This is the centerpiece of this community, and it's a privilege for us to be able to be here tonight and be a part of it.
It certainly is a lot of fun, and it's just been a great game.
Misfire by Evan Keaton, gets his own rebound, and he's crossed the 20-point threshold. 21 points for Evan Keaton. I'll give him a game ball. I don't care if you win it or not.
Probably got to start looking to foul if you're Eminence.
Leads, strong move, can't get it to fall, gets his own rebound, gets that one to fall. 16 points for Austin Leeds. 68-61 with 25 seconds remaining. Three-pointer, good. How about that kid? Ain't no quitting Evan Keaton. 24 points for Evan Keaton. It's a 4-point lead.
You got to foul if you're Eminence, but you don't want to foul with Keaton because he's got 4.
10.6 seconds left, and the Bulldogs will go to the free throw line. And it's Gavin Followell.
And that's going to be 5 on Holly, I believe, if that's who it's on.
It appears as though that's the case. Hayden Holly will check out with 9 points.
Played well.
Yep.
Gave him good minutes. Came back from a little injury to his shoulder, but he's a big reason why they're only down 4.
He, Taylor, Keaton, done the job tonight. Missed free throw, but the rebound tracked down by Leeds. Todd Kamek trying to play keep away and gets fouled near the midcourt stripe. That was a big offensive rebound for the Bulldogs.
Great job by Leeds of hustling to get to the ball, but that would have been big, down 4 with about, probably 10 seconds to give yourself a chance. But, again, you've got to take advantage of these small details, and rebounding off a free throw is one of those things that these kids probably think they can do in their sleep. They still got to fundamentally do it.
14 points in the first half for Todd Kamek. Cooled off a bit in the second half. He has but 5 points in this half. Leeds gets the rebound, kicks it out to Hale, and he's fouled quickly by Aiden Ray. And Eminence has had opportunities here with the Bulldogs unable to convert at the free throw line, but they're not boxing out and getting the rebound as a result.
Well, you've got to move them, and I think that's the one thing. If you're undersized, you've got to put that butt and start walking backwards and make it an obvious over-the-back call if that's what's going to happen. But You can't give up offensive rebounds back to back.
Trent Hale finally says enough is enough of missing these free throws. He has 8 points now and bumps that lead up to 5. So this, I think, would be the desired dagger. And he missed it. Rebound controlled by Evan Keaton. Keaton can't get the shot off, and the Bulldogs are going to hold on to the powder keg. 69-64. They led it all 4 stops at the end of period 1. It was 18-9. 42-24 at intermission, 55-46 at the end of 3, and 69-64 the final. Leading scorers of the ball game for the Bulldogs, Austin Leeds was 16, Todd Kamick with 19, Gavin Followill with 13. Mason McClung had 7, Tucker Rand with 3, Trent Hale off the bench with 8, Dustin Krostashevsky with 4. A lot of guys getting into the scoring act for the Eminence Eels. How about Evan Keaton, their lone returning varsity player, scored 24 points tonight. And 19 of those coming in the second half. Hayden Holly with 9, Reno Taylor with 13, Aiden Ray with 7, Dylan Smith with 6, and Joe Mobley with 2. We'll put the wraps on this when we come back.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Welcome back to the Eel Tank. The Bulldogs winners 69-64. Need to take a look at our player of the game. It is none other than Todd Kamick. And as we said, Todd putting together a phenomenal performance tonight, his first game of the year. Todd was not available for the scrimmage, lingering football injury, and I think Nick Hinojosa provided the perfect motivation for Todd Kamick to come out and be on fire tonight.
The senior answered every run by Eminence. 19 points, played really well, was able to help lead the Bulldogs tonight, and really was instrumental in them winning 69-64.
And let's take a look at Austin Leeds, who has our play of the game. A couple of attempts at burying the dunk, but was able to pull it off at one point, and he goes baseline to get the job done.
Great job by Austin Leeds. A lot of upside, a lot of play in his game. He really is outstanding at 6'7" and a senior. Exerted himself, especially in that first half. Again, into the game with 16 points and did a great job.
Both teams get to celebrate the holidays before they get back to action for the Eminence Eels December 3rd. They'll be at North Central in Farmersburg. And then the Monrovia Bulldogs, Nick Hinojosa, the team that he once coached for, the Cascade Cadets, visit McCracken Gym on December 3rd. Again, tip-off time for that one, as always, 7:30 p.m. for the varsity contest. Partner, had a good time tonight. Thanks for being here.
A lot of fun. Thanks to the ISC Network, and just a great atmosphere. Thanks again to Eminence for hosting. What a great venue.
Greg Mash has been our director tonight. The replay, Elijah Mash. Graphics, Garrett Hagan. Cameras, Robin Lynch, Sheldon Wheeler, and Becca Kelly. Great job tonight for providing great shots here at the Eel Tank at Eminence. For Lance Scheib, I'm Mark James. Congratulations to Nick Hinojosa, picks up his first career win over the Eminence Eels tonight. From the Eel Tank at Eminence, happy Thanksgiving and so long, everybody.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time. To pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.